Today for the week. It is a Southwest Network program of Radio Nigeria, Ibadan Zonal Station, comprising news and feature. In the lineup, Defense Minister reaffirms support to families of fallen soldiers. Stakeholders react to recent bandit attack on schools in Oyo State. On the foreign scene, Iran stages mass wedding for couples over war sacrifice. Police arrest man for mass shooting in southern Spain. Part of the matter is on taking urgent measures to guard against hantavirus, while the feature is on Agidingbi. My name is Olubukola Enimola. Reading with me this afternoon is
Feyishara Owomoyela. Thank you for staying with us. Remember to join us via live stream www.radionigeriaibadan.gov.ng or watch us live on Facebook at Premier FM 93.5. Rain is here. Ensure you keep yourself warm. And now the major items. And now to the details. Minister of Defense General Christopher Musa has reaffirmed the federal government's commitment to supporting families of military personnel who die in active service. The minister gave the assurance while receiving the brother of late Brigadier General Hosseini Brahima, Hassan Brahima, at the Ministry of Defense in Abuja. While conveying the condolences of the Ministry of Defense and the Armed Forces of Nigeria to the Brahima family, General Musa said the armed forces would not abandon families of personnel who paid the ultimate price in defense of Nigeria's security and unity. He praised the late officer's sacrifice and pledged continued support for his family. During the visit, the deceased brother, Hassan Brahima, described his late brother as a committed and patriotic officer who dedicated his life to the service of Nigeria. Radio Brigadier General Brahima, a senior infantry officer of the Nigerian Army, died in active service in Beni Sheikh on the 9th of last month. Until his death, he served as commander of the 29th Task Force Brigade. He was buried with full military honors at the Maimalari Cantonment Cemetery alongside 7 other service personnel who also died in the line of duty.
Oyo State Governor Engineer Seyi Makinde has disclosed that the state government is ready to listen to the demands of the abductors of pupil students and teachers kidnapped in the recent attack in schools in Orire local government area of the state to secure safe release of the victims. Governor Makinde, while giving an update on the ugly development, however, said the state would never surrender to terrorism, stressing that every effort is being intensified to ensure the victims return home unharmed. He confirmed that 7 secondary school students, 18 primary school pupils and 7 teachers were abducted during the attack, adding that one of the teachers had unfortunately been killed by the kidnappers. The governor noted that security operatives were carrying out rescue operations in the area. Governor Makinde explained that the state government had established an operational situation room at the Oyo State Police Command Headquarters to coordinate rescue efforts and provide verified information to the public. Speaking on security reinforcement, Governor Makinde confirmed that the surveillance aircraft procured by the state government had already arrived in Nigeria and were currently being assembled at the Nigerian Air Force hangar in Lagos.
Similarly, the Speaker of the Oyo State House of Assembly, Mr. Adebo Ogundoyin, has condemned the abduction of teachers and students of Orire local government area of Oyo State and the gruesome killing of one of the abducted teachers, a mathematics teacher. In a statement issued in Ibadan, Mr. Ogundoyin expressed sadness over the tragic incident and the disturbing viral video showing the killing of the teacher while in captivity, noting that the development should serve as a wake-up call to all stakeholders on the need to take decisive action against criminal activities. The speaker described the attack on schools and innocent citizens as a direct assault on the future of the society, emphasizing that educational institutions must remain secured, where teachers can discharge their duties and students can pursue learning without fear. According to him, beyond condemning the incident, government at all levels and lawmakers have a responsibility to strengthen structure that could prevent future occurrences. The speaker called for deployment of more surveillance technology, strengthening of intelligence gathering systems, and increasing support for local security networks and law enforcement agencies as viable means of putting an end to the diabolical activities of kidnappers and bandits.
Also, the Nigeria Labour Congress NLC Oyo State Council has condemned the recent bandit attack and adoption in Oriri local government area, describing it as an assault on the state's peace and educational stability. A statement signed by the NLC chairman, Mr. Kayode Martins, the union says the incident was a criminal attack on innocent citizens which had inflicted trauma, fear and hardship on affected families, schools and communities. The Congress extends its heartfelt sympathies to the people of Ogbomoso, the Oyo State government and the Nigerian Union of Teachers, NUT, noting that educators, pupils and other residents were among those targeted. The NLC prays for safe return of all adopted victims and for lasting peace and stability in Oyo State in particular and Nigeria in general.
In the same vein, the Muslim Ummah of southwest Nigeria, Muswen, has strongly condemned the recent kidnapping of school children and teachers in Orire local government area of Oyo State, describing the incident as barbaric act that targets the future of the region and the nation. In a statement signed by the President Alhaji Rasaki Oladejo and Executive Secretary Professor Wole Abbas, Muswen expressed deep sorrow over the abductions. The group particularly condemned the reported killing of one of the kidnapped teachers, Mr. Michael Oyedokun, whose death was confirmed by Oyo State Governor Seyi Makinde following the circulation of a disturbing video. The apex Muslim body in the southwest called on security agencies to intensify efforts towards the immediate and unconditional release of all remaining hostages. It urged the federal and state governments to adopt a more proactive and holistic approach to tackling insecurity, including improved intelligence gathering, community policing, and addressing underlying socio-economic factors fueling banditry.
6 suspects have been arrested by security operatives in Oyo State for allegedly aiding the gunmen responsible for the deadly abduction of school children, killing of 2 teachers and a commercial motorcyclist in Orire local government area. The public relations officer of the Nigeria Police Force, Oyo State Command, Mr. Olayinka Ayalade, disclosed this in a telephone interview with Radio Nigeria correspondent. Mr. Ayalade said the arrest followed intelligence reports linking the individuals to the attackers who carried out the assault last week Friday in the Haoro Shiele community. According to him, the suspects allegedly acted as informants for the kidnappers, maintaining phone communication with the armed group before and after the incident. Police sources said some of the conversations centered on movement routes and possible hideouts within the old Oyo National Park axis, believed to have been used by the criminals to evade arrest. According to the police, intelligence gathered from the phone conversations played a crucial role in tracking down members of the suspected network during coordinated raids carried out across multiple locations. The spokesman of the Oyo State Police Command said the suspects were currently in custody and assisting investigations with useful information.
And away from that, the All Progressives Congress APC has declared Senator Adenigba Fadaunsi as the winner of the primary election for Osun East Senatorial District. The declaration was made in Osogbo by the chairman of the APC Primary Election Committee in the state, Mr. Bayo Ayo. According to Mr. Ayo, Senator Fadaunsi polled 23,593 votes, followed by Mr. Israel Famirewa, who polled 7,472 votes, while Mr. Thomas Ogungbangbe polled 806 votes. Mr. Ayo noted that Senator Fadaunsi was therefore returned as the APC candidate for the Osun East Senatorial District.
And still on politics, June 20 this year, the people of Ekiti will participate in governorship election to elect a leader who will steer the ship of the state for another 4 years. As the election day keeps counting down, Progress FM correspondent Lanre Omotosho takes the microphone to feel the pulse of cross-section of tertiary institution students who are among the over 2 million youths of the state on their preparedness towards the polls. His report.
According to records, Ekiti State has total population of over 3.5 million, with youth constituting about 70%. Among the youths are the undergraduates, artisans, Okada riders, farmers, among others. Available data indicates that only a total of 360,753 people out of the 988,923,000 registered voters voted in the last gubernatorial election in 2022 across the 16 local government areas of the state. Some respondents among the expected over 2 million youths in Ekiti State are Tolulopo Olanrewaju, Rokibat Akorede, Naimat Abdulganiu, and Oluwadaminola Ogungbade, who said they did not have much interest in the electoral process.
It's because I do not have a voter's card. I don't want to vote because I'm not even interested at all. And I don't even have a voter's card. And I'm not even ready to have one.
Another respondent, Fatima Yaya, explained that her parents discouraged her from participating in the voter registration. Also, Emmanuel Oguninde said distance from the school to the registration center was not workable for him, while Oluwasegun Adegbite confirmed that he had voter card but feared that school activities might not permit him to vote.
Because my parents can't allow me to vote.
During the registration, I'm in school and I can't register in school.
The school activities won't allow me to vote.
Meanwhile, a lecturer in the Department of Psychology, Ekiti State University, Professor Lanre Adebayo, charged various stakeholders such as INEC, NOA, political parties, and authorities of higher institutions on the need to create enough awareness that will make the undergraduates see electoral process as their civic responsibilities. Professor Adebayo suggested that INEC should deploy technology that will make it easier for undergraduates to register and vote online because they were more active online than physical voting, and that heads of higher institutions should ensure that schools were not closed during elections.
The transaction is still ongoing. It will not be possible for them to travel home to their various places of where they have registered to vote and therefore excluded from voting.
The psychologist called for more sensitization by NOA on importance of electoral process, while political parties should select some of the undergraduates as candidates. He, however, attributed lack of the youth's interest in electoral participation to a high level of unemployment, the struggling by parents to pay school fees, the belief that their votes will not count, lack of government presence, and lack of political ideologies. From Ado Ekiti, Lanre Omotosho reporting for Radio Nigeria.
Thank you, Lanre Omotosho, for that report. Activities lined up for the retirement of the Bishop of Ibadan Diocese Anglican Communion, the Most Reverend Joseph Akifenwa, have commenced with a news conference at the press center of the Nigeria Union of Journalists (NUJ) in Yagmoku, Ibadan, Oyo State. Addressing newsmen, Chancellor of the Diocese and Justice of the Supreme Court, Justice Helen Ogunwumeju, described the retiring bishop as a true man of God whose contributions to the development of the diocese and Christianity in general could not be overemphasized. Justice Ogunwumijo highlighted some of the contributions to include inauguration of many archdeaconries, mentorship of younger ones, facilitating outreaches, scholarship awards, among others. Radio Nigeria gathered that the activities continued today with a provincial program earlier held by the Christian Men's Fellowship. A novelty march will hold at Ijokodo Diocesan Playground at 4 o'clock this evening. The Most Reverend Joseph Akifenwa was born on May 24, 1956, ordained as a priest in 1988, became bishop in 1998 under Sokoto Diocese, before moving to Ibadan in the year 2000. He was the Archbishop of Ibadan Ecclesiastical Province Anglican Communion in 2002, which is on a rotational basis.
This is the world today, the stories that made the headlines. Defense Minister reaffirmed support to families of fallen soldiers. Stakeholders have reacted to recent bandit attack on schools in Oyo State, and still to come in the news, Iran stages mass wedding for couples over war sacrifice, and police arrest man for mass shooting in southern Spain. Don't go anywhere.
Glad to know you're still with us on the news and word today from the Southwest Network of Radio Nigeria. We now move to the foreign scenes. Iranian authorities have held a mass public weddings in Tehran for couples who signed up to a state-sponsored scheme declaring their readiness to sacrifice their lives in the war against the United States and Israel. According to Iranian media, the ceremonies involved hundreds of couples in several major squares in the capital, including more than 100 in the vast Imam Hussein Square in central Tehran. Report says there were broadcasts on state television in a bid to boost wartime morale. The couples arrived at the Imam Hussein Square in military jeeps with mounted machine guns and were married on a stage in a ceremony presided over by a cleric. Iranian authorities say millions of people, including top figures such as the Speaker of Parliament, Mohammad Ghalibaf, and President Masoud Pezeshkian, put their names forward. The stage was decorated with balloons and with a giant image of Supreme Leader Mojtaba Khamenei.
A 25-year-old man has been arrested in suspicion of killing his parents and injuring 4 others in a mass shooting in southern Spain. The police said the shooting was reported in a small town of El Edido near Almeria. According to police, the 4 others, including 2 children, were seriously injured and have been taken to the hospital. Report has it that one of the victims is believed to be the suspect's 7-month-old son, while the identities of the suspect and the victims have not been formally released by the Spanish authorities.
And away from the foreign scenes, we move to the exciting world of sports. Former captain of the Nigeria senior basketball team, D Tigers, Olumide Oyedeji, is called on the Nigeria Basketball Federation to redesign its programs towards discovering and developing basketball talents from the grassroots. Oyedeji made the call during the Southwest 3x3 Basketball Championship held in Akure, Ondo State. Isaac Afolabi is standing by with this and more in the world of sports.
Former captain of Nigeria's senior basketball team, the Tigers, Olumide Oyedeji, has called on stakeholders to re-strategize and focus more on grassroots development to revive the growth of basketball in the country. Oyedeji made the call during the grand finale of the 2-day Southwest 3-on-3 Basketball Championship held at the Democracy Park, Akure, Ondo State. The former international expressed concern over the current state of basketball programs in Nigeria, noting that the Nigerian Basketball Federation can restore the Nations dominance in Africa basketball if all stakeholders work together with genuine interest in the growth of the game.
Nigerian basketball, I hope it's going to get better. Internationally, we're looking good. But locally, we're struggling. Let's make this Nigerian basketball work.
Meanwhile, one of the players of Rising Stars basketball team from Oyo State, Olawale Akimbola, appealed for more basketball competitions from stakeholders and exposure for young talents, expressing his desire to represent Nigeria in future international tournaments.
In the future, I hope I can play for the Nigerian national team.
The championship featured 12 teams drawn from the 6 southwest states, including Lagos, Ogun, Osun, Oyo, Ekiti, and Ondo states. Team Nigeria concluded the 24th African Athletics Championship with 12 medals after the women's 4x4 100-meter relay team delivered a commanding gold medal performance on the final day of the competition. Esther Okon, Tohibat Jimo, Jacinta Lawrence, and Patient Okon George successfully defended Nigeria's title in the event. The win ensured Team Nigeria ended the competition with 4 gold, 5 silver, and 3 bronze medals, placing 4th overall behind Kenya, South Africa, and Ethiopia in the final standing. I am Isaac Afolabi, Radio Nigeria.
And still in the world of sports, the 2026 Ibadan National Polo Tournament has officially ended with 6 teams competing for the finals of the Olubadan Rotimi and Ade Alakija Memorial Cups at the Polo Field, Eleyele. In the final of the Olubadan Cup, Ibadan DFL defeated Lagos A1 Shoreline by 7.5 goals to 7 goals to clinch the trophy. Also, Kano Iba Oil and Gas claimed the Rotimi Cup finals after scoring 5 goals against its opponent Lagos Volta, which scored 4 goals. The Ade Alakija Cup was won by Kano Golden Abure, scoring 6.5 to beat Lagos Bemilk Security, who scored 3 goals. Commenting on the final tournament, the chief host, who is also the Olubadan of Ibadan land, Oba Rashidi Ladoja, said 120 years of the polo sports deserved celebration. Oba Ladoja urged residents in the state to sustain their support for polo sport.
120 years, the life of a nation is not small. Not to talk of the life of a club. This club has been on for 120 years. We have now changed the cup from Ibadan Cup to Olubadan Cup in my honor, and I'm very grateful for that. I am here to give solidarity to them.
In an interview, the president of Olubadan Polo Club, Mr. Bola Adeyemi, said the tournament was hitch-free, saying stakeholders, including sponsors, had value for their money.
I feel elated. It was 8 days of good fun. We thank God also for an accident-free tournament. Our sponsors got good value for their money and they're so happy with us. The players had an exciting time here. Our spectators were so great.
The polo tournament, which started on the 10th of this month, attracted 6 clubs drawn from Lagos, Ibadan, Kano, and Port Harcourt.
All right, so beautiful from the world of sports. And now in today's Heart of the Matter, Fauzia Kashim of our Current Affairs Unit writes on taking urgent measures to guard against hantavirus.
Hantaviruses are a family of rodent-borne diseases that can cause severe, often fatal respiratory or kidney disease in humans. Though relatively rare, some strains carry fatality rates of up to 50%. According to the World Health Organization, WHO, hantavirus has not escalated to the level of the COVID-19 pandemic, but current information indicates that transmission occurs primarily from animals to humans, especially through rodents such as rats, mice, and voles. The major transmission of infection is through inhaling virus particles from dried rodent urine, saliva, or droppings that become airborne. Symptoms include fever, fatigue, muscle aches, especially around thighs, hips and back, as well as headaches, dizziness, and gastrointestinal problems such as nausea, vomiting, and diarrhea. Although the Nigeria Center for Disease Control and Prevention, NCDC, has confirmed that there is no case of the disease in the country, yet the agency has intensified disease surveillance across the country. Nigeria cannot afford to lose its guard in the process, but draw lessons from previous response to health emergencies. Instances such as in 2014, the country was able to leverage on expertise developed through polio surveillance campaigns to trace more than 890 contacts of Ebola cases, which Nigeria successfully contained within 3 months. Similarly, when the coronavirus pandemic swept across the globe in 2020, Nigeria responded with a range of public health measures such as social distancing, regular hand washing, the use of face masks, travel restrictions, lockdowns, and regulated public activities became part of everyday life. Suspected cases are isolated at designated centers, while hygiene practices were reinforced through the widespread use of sanitizers and public awareness campaigns. Many people also worked from home to reduce physical contact. In the wake of the hantavirus outbreak, it is pertinent for the government to act proactively to prevent another public health crisis similar to the recurring battles with Lassa fever and meningitis. Surveillance at the nation's international gateways should be strengthened in collaboration with global health partners to identify and isolate any potential carriers entering the country. Public education campaigns should be intensified to raise awareness about the dangers of rodent exposure and unsafe hygiene practices. Government needs to, as a matter of urgency, improve funding for the health sector, especially primary healthcare centers, which remain the first line of defense against disease outbreaks. People in rural communities need to be sensitized on safe handling of food and the dangers associated with contact with rodents and their waste, as careless exposure to rodent droppings can have fatal consequences. Faith-based organizations, civil society groups, community organizations, and other stakeholders should also join the campaign to revive safe hygiene practices nationwide. The support of expatriate communities in the country may also prove crucial in identifying suspected cases that evade border surveillance systems. Public health campaign on sealing holes and crevices through which rodents gain access to homes, schools, and public buildings should therefore be vigorously pursued alongside improved waste management systems. Safe food handling practices must be encouraged, while environmental sanitation standards should be strictly monitored and enforced.
That script on taking urgent measures to guard against hantavirus was written by Fauzia Kashim of our Current Affairs Unit and read from our studio.
Agidingbe is under Ikeja local government area of Lagos State. What could be the meaning of the name Agidingbe? Fumilola Obagbayegun is on ground for details.
Agidingbe is an area in Lagos State. It is located in Ikeja. When Lagos was invaded by...
We apologize for that technical hitch concerning the write-up on Agidingbe. We'll bring it later in the course of the bulletin.
And that is a story I would have loved to hear myself. Anyway, to answer news on the world today from the stable of Radio Nigeria, another look at the major items. Minister of Defense General Christopher Musa has reaffirmed the federal government's commitment to supporting families of military personnel who died in active service. Stakeholders have reacted to recent bandit attack on school in Oyo State. From the foreign scenes, we reported that Iranian authorities have held mass public weddings in Tehran for couples who signed up to a state-sponsored scheme declaring their readiness to sacrifice their lives in the war against the U.S. and Israel. And lastly, a 25-year-old man has been arrested on suspicion of killing his parents and injuring 4 others in a mass shooting in southern Spain.
Well, that's it on the world today. Do join us tomorrow for a fresh edition of the program. Modupe Toba edited. My name is Olubukola Enimola. Thanking you for your time. And from my colleague,
Feyi Shara Owomoyela. Do enjoy the rest of the day. Good afternoon.
Nigeria's media and its cultural sector. As we unveil this roadmap today,